It's across the country. If you're listening in the Volta region, this is OFM 92.5, Dagbana FM 102.5. It's also picking the bulletin live in Tamale. We are live on Radio 192.1 in the Upper West region and also live on Radio Pa 96 in Spain. And around the world, you can join us on classfmonline.com. Now, we need to have a boo. And coming up this afternoon, Accra High Court directs the Attorney General and lawyers for NPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Enchibo to report progress on plea bargain negotiations by July 6 in alleged 30 million Ghana cedis Exim Bank fraud case.
Both the Attorney General and counsel for accused persons agree that since we have initiated plea negotiations, it is only by law prudent for the court to give us an adjournment until we come to inform the court of developments.
The Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa described the adoption of the resolution on slavery as a major step towards reparatory justice as Ghana hosts global leaders in Accra.
Since the adoption of this historic resolution, discussions on reparatory justice have gained unprecedented momentum across continents, governments, institutions, scholars, legal practitioners, community leaders, and citizens with renewed conversations.
Minority in Parliament demands summoning of Gold Board CEO over alleged 9 billion procurement breaches.
Mr. Speaker, I am appealing to the majority chief to ensure that the Gold Board chief executive appears before Parliament to answer questions in respect of certain procurements. The issues at Gold Board, those issues smell. It stinks. He must bring the chief executive of Gold Board here.
The MPP Director of Communication defends Akufo-Addo's government record on Afari Military Hospital project. Now, Rose Minister shows public of progress on Tema Motorway and Pokasi Road projects.
There are two contractors working on some major exit and entry point to Kumasi that we needed to work with. One of them has started work at the beginning of the week. We are encouraging the other one to start work.
Now, Black Stars begin World Cup campaign with dramatic victory over Panama.
Yesterday, the match that this is a very nice match, and right now we have to stop the one top. The one top that we are playing, we have to stop it because the former player Asamoah Gyan is the one that we use to play the one top. But right now we use Jordan, and the Jordan too. You don't get fit.
Also coming up in this bulletin, Volta Lands Commission Chairman raises concern over land encroachment on undocumented lands, state lands. These plus many other stories, including sports, coming your way shortly.
Well, thank you very much for your time with us here on 12 Live. You're on Class 91.3 FM. And of course, 30 minutes, in the next 30 minutes, we're going to be bringing you the day's big stories and what have you, right here on Class 91.3 FM. My name is Charles Akrofi, and I'm here this afternoon with
Elizabeth Aidoo.
Now, an Accra High Court has granted the Attorney General's office and lawyers for the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Enchibo, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, until July 6 to return and update the court on ongoing plea bargain negotiations. The directive follows indications that discussions towards a possible plea agreement are underway in a case involving alleged financial loss to the states. We shortly would connect to the phone lines and speak to court correspondent Mami Ababru, who sat through proceedings today to bring us up to speed with how events panned out in court today. And of course, you do know that there's been the talk about Chairman Wontumi making the appeal for a plea negotiation with the Attorney General's office. And the news as we have it now is that the court, that's the Accra High Court, has granted the Attorney General's office and the lawyers for Chairman Wontumi, until July 6th to return to the courts and update the courts on ongoing plea bargain negotiations with the Attorney General's department. Let's get onto the phone lines now, and hopefully, right. So we're working on the phone lines, and then hopefully we would be speaking to Mamia Babru in that regard. But the directive follows in the indications that discussions towards a possible plea agreement are underway in a case involving alleged financial loss to the state. And let's take a listen to Andy Apiakubi, who is the lawyer for Chairman Wontumi after proceedings today when he spoke to the media.
As promised, it was a very swift interaction with the court.
Class 91.3 FM.
Both the Attorney General and as promised, it was a very swift interaction with the court. Both the Attorney General and Counsel for accused persons agree that since we have initiated plea negotiations, it is only by law prudent for the court to give us an adjournment until we come to inform the court of developments. And by law, we are entitled to 30 days of plea negotiations. So we agreed to take the 6th of July to come to the court to inform the court of progress so far in the plea negotiations. We are very hopeful that by the time we come to the court on the 6th, we will have made some progress and inform the court of what issues are left outstanding for us to clear and to file our plea agreement in the court. The mood of the court and the predisposition of counsel from both sides suggest that we will be able to reach amicable settlement quickly for us to file a plea agreement that will bring the matter to finality.
And Andy Apiakubi is lawyer for the NPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Enchibuesiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi. Unfortunately, we are unable to get through to right. So I understand our court correspondent Mamia Babru has joined us on the line for some updates with regards to this development. Abba, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time with us on 12 Live this afternoon. So, really, how did things transpire in court today? Bring us up to speed.
Okay, Charles. So the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Enchibuesiako,
hello, Abba, can you hear me?
Known as Chairman Wontumi, filed a plea bargain negotiations with the Attorney General in the ongoing criminal case in which he and his Wontumi farms have been accused of defrauding the Ghana Export and Imports Bank, which is the Ghana Exim Bank, of 30 million Ghana cedis. Now, the Attorney General's office informed the High Court in Accra about Wontumi's application in a filing on the 11th of June 2026 and stating that he had commenced steps towards the plea agreement. And so today, Wontumi was in court with his lawyers, led by lawyer Andy Apiakubi. Now, the Deputy Attorney General said that his office had filed a notice of commencement of the plea negotiation pursuant to Section 163 Clause 3, which was dated on the 11th day of June 2026. And also, he attested to the fact that he and Wontumi's lawyers had a conversation earlier this morning and have agreed to take a short adjournment to start the negotiations, and therefore pleaded the court, which was presided over by Justice Halima L. Lawal Bashir, to approve a 2 weeks adjournment to update the court on the progress. And so, Charles, Wontumi's lawyers, led by lawyer Andy Apiakubi, would be in court on the 6th day of July to officially announce the progress of the plea bargain.
I see. Interesting developments there. Any more details we need to know from the court before you take leave of us this afternoon?
So, as I speak, there's an ongoing case. Aidoo Boahen's case is ongoing, so I'd have to rush back into the court to actually follow the proceedings and bring you the information.
So you're talking about a former boss of the National Signals Bureau? Right, Mamiaba, just keep your eye and on development in court, and as and when things actually happen, we'll bring you on, and then you keep us posted. But that's a court correspondent, Mami Abba Brew. There, this is 12 Live. You're on Class 91.3 FM. We're turning attention to something else.
The Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa says Ghana is helping lead a renewed global push for reparatory justice following the adoption of a United Nations resolution that declares the transatlantic slave trade and enslavement of Africans as a grave crime against humanity. Speaking at a high-level consultative conference in Accra, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, delivering remarks on behalf of President John Dramani Mahama, said the development represents a turning point in global effort to address historical injustices and their present-day consequences. The conference has brought together heads of state, diplomats, scholars, and civil society actors to chart what officials describe as the next step after the UN resolution, with discussions focusing on formal apologies, cultural artifacts return, and broader reparatory frameworks.
Since the adoption of this historic resolution, discussions on reparatory justice have gained unprecedented momentum across continents. Governments, institutions, scholars, legal practitioners, community leaders, and citizens with renewed conversations about historical accountability, restitution, reconciliation, and sustainable mechanisms for redress. The growing international support for these conversations demonstrates that reparatory justice is no longer a peripheral issue. It is now firmly established as a legitimate global concern that demands serious engagement and thoughtful solutions. For those who thought that the UN resolution would be a mere academic exercise, are now revising their notes. We have all heard the apology from Pope Leo XIV, the head of the Catholic fraternity, apologizing for the role of the Catholic Church, the papal bulls that offered theological, doctrinal justification for slavery. And we, led by President Mahama and all members of our global coalition, have warmly accepted the apology.
You heard the Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa.
Now, the minority in Parliament is demanding that the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami James, be summoned before the House to answer questions over alleged procurement breaches. According to the minority leader, Alexander Fenyo, marking the alleged irregularities have resulted in a financial loss of about 9 million Ghana cedis to the institution. This, he says, Parliament must exercise its oversight responsibility by investigating the circumstances surrounding the procurement processes and holding those responsible accountable. The call comes amid growing scrutiny of procurement practices within public sector agencies and renewed demands for stricter compliance with the country's procurement laws. The minority maintains that the CEO should appear before the House to provide a full account of the transactions and explain how the reported losses occurred. It argues that transparency and accountability in the management of public resources are essential to maintaining public confidence in state institutions.
Mr. Speaker, what is happening at Gold Board is a serious concern. Mr. Speaker, one of my colleagues tells me that a question was filed for the Gold Board Chief Executive to come, yes, to explain certain transactions. Yes, Mr. Speaker, I am appealing to the majority chief whip to ensure that the Gold Board Chief Executive appears before Parliament to answer questions in respect of certain procurements. Mr. Speaker, issues have come out in the public domain in respect of Gold Board. Gold Board came into being as a result of an enactment by this House. I am only drawing the attention of the majority chief whip to such a major concern. A member has filed a question demanding answers from Gold Board. Mr. Speaker, the huge losses that IMF reported, over 9 billion. That is all my plea, because this is a government that is saying all over that it believes in probity and accountability. Probity and accountability, and there are 9 billion losses.
So,
Gold Board procurement are not transparent. And Mr. Speaker, the public wants to know.
Well, so that's the minority leader in Parliament, Alexander Afenyo Markin, but reacting to his request, Majority Chief Whip Roxanne Nelson Dapiamekpo says the responsibility lies with the Finance Minister to brief the House on the matter while arguing the minority to stop or urging the minority to stop its attack on the Gold Board CEO.
Speaker, the minority leader, one-time majority leader and leader of government business, is saying that a question has been filed and directed at the CEO of Gold Board. In what capacity is he coming here? Please, he cannot. Speaker, within the terms of Order 79, the Gold Board CEO cannot be invited here to respond to questions. It's not the head of a constitutional body. The Gold Board is a creature of statutes. His agency serves under a certain ministry. So it is the minister who must come to respond to the questions. So if the question indeed has been filed and directed at him, the minority leader should get the member to redirect the question. It's not an independent constitutional body. It's an agency we set up under the Ministry of Finance. So it operates under the Ministry of Finance. So first of all, the question, if indeed is directed at the CEO, then it's a misdirection. So it should be redirected to the Ministry of Finance. Then he would gather the information and come to respond.
And you heard the voice of Roxanne Nelson Dapiamekpo, who is the Majority Chief Whip in Parliament. You're still listening to 12 Live on Class 91.3 FM.
The Director of Communication for the New Patriotic Party, Richard Ahiagba, has pushed against remarks by the former Central Member of Parliament, Kennedy Japan, regarding the Afari Military Hospital project, insisting that the former Akufo-Addo administration made substantial progress on the facility before leaving office. Addressing the growing debate surrounding the status of the project, Richard Ahiagba rejected suggestions that the previous government failed to advance construction works, describing such claims as inconsistent with the documented progress made over the years. According to him, the Afari Military Hospital project was approximately 40% complete when Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration took office in 2017. He joins us online to give us further details on the story. Good afternoon, Mr. Richard Ahiagba.
Good afternoon.
So you are kicking against some remarks made by the former Member of Parliament for Ascent Central. Give us your accurate answers to these, what you are accusing him for.
Who?
The former Member of Parliament for Kennedy Japan, some remarks concerning the Afari Military Hospital.
Right. Okay, so if I understand you, he said to give you the accurate information.
1.3 FM.
Yeah.
Okay, but I also heard you use the word accuse, but we're not accusing Ken of anything. Good afternoon to you and to your listeners. You know, the comment in question was when the former MP for Assin Central gave an interaction with your colleagues, made comments about the Afari Hospital, and that the MPP had not done anything in 8 years to bring the project forward to completion, and that we shouldn't blame or put pressure on the government. Now, as you know, Ken is an upright or an upfront person, a straightforward person. He says it as it is. So on that occasion, he was doing the same, which is good, which we should encourage everybody to do. Except that on that occasion, he didn't have the information in order to. And so that's just the difference that we have tried to put in the information that he had at the time.
Mr. Ahiagba, I'm losing you, so if you could reposition yourself, I'll be so much grateful.
Okay, I'm in motion. That's how come. But is it better?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that we're not only providing the information possible Unfortunately, mistake he made. Indeed, the New Patriotic Party in the 8 years, 17 to 2025,
Mr. Nyagba, still your line is still not clear, so we'll try and call you back so that you give us further details on this issue concerning the Afari Military Hospital. That's the Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party, Richard Anyagba. Let's do some other stories. As and when we get him, we'll put him back on air so that he gives us further details on the story.
And we're talking environment now because it matters to you and I. And the Environmental Protection Agency says it's finalizing the legal and regulatory framework to ensure a smooth transition before enforcement on the ban of styrofoam, or what we popularly call takeaway packs. Director of Sustainability and Circular Economy at the EPA, Larry Kotoe, says businesses have sufficient time to prepare, explaining that most importers operate on 3 to 4 months import cycles. Speaking at an event, he said the agency is developing enforcement protocols with confiscation among several measures that would be used to ensure compliance with the ban. He added that the EPA will work closely with the Ghana Customs Service to identify and restrict the importation of banned polystyrene products at the country's ports once the ban takes effect.
So we have, in terms of the system, we are on the ICOMS, and we use the HS codes to restrict some of these things. So we have the HS codes for the raw material, and then we have HS codes for the product. So we need to start engaging the manufacturers, the importers, when you should stop the importation. We've requested for data. Yes, they are still importing. Some have already imported, and they have, but we need to verify some of these data, which we have requested from them.
At what point are they going to stop importing this raw material?
So technically, some of them have like 3 months import cycle, some of them 4 months import cycle. So if we are looking at implementing the ban effective January 1st, what it means is that you need to limit the importation 3 or 4 months before. So these are technicalities that we have to implement, and we have drawn up a plan to actually do that. So once they give us the data, you cannot import after the 3 months or 4 months, because we don't want you to be importing January 1st. 2027. That will be in violation of the ban. So we are currently working with our legal department to also work on the enforcement protocol and also the legal framework, which will be finalized by then. So before January 1st, we will have a legal framework to regulate. And enforcement comes in so many ways, as my CEO mentioned. Confiscation is one of them. We have several enforcement tools. We are the ports, and we are visible on the ICOMS, and that's what they use. So every product that comes into the country, EPA, we see it, and we need to give authorization to some of them. So we can actually restrict it. And customs, we do some of these things with customs as well. So we will be communicating with customs, especially the list of items that we want to restrict, and then when it should take effect.
And so you heard there the Director of Sustainability and Circular Economy at the EPA, Larry Kotoe. Meanwhile, the General Secretary of the Ghana Food and Beverages Association non-government provide viable alternatives to styrofoam products ahead of the ban. He says if government is committed to phasing out styrofoam, it should also invest in expanding glass production and other sustainable packaging alternatives to support businesses and consumers.
As we are considering the alternatives, we've had a meeting with Ghana Investment Promotion Council, and what was the cause? We wanted an alternative within the beverage sector where we can reduce the production of plastics and other water and other, or within the beverage sector. Now, we have a company, Aboso Glass Factory, and for years it has been shut down. We import bottles from Nigeria. People buy the broken bottles, they send it back to Nigeria, reproduce it, and bring it back to us. When we have our own factories here, what is government doing about it? So, in the interim that we are considering banning certain products, where in future, Prof said they are going to consider the beverage sector. Yes, beverage sector, we do cold fill, so hot beverage doesn't come in. Now, the other side is that the consumers rather store the production or the produce in hot weather that affect the product in a way which we need to educate why we shouldn't do that. So when you are going to buy something and it's stored in the sun, you don't have to buy even the sachet water, any bottle, any beverage that you buy, and you see it packed in the hot weather, you don't have to buy that product because it activates the leaching of these chemicals into the product that you eat. Okay. So we need to encourage our glass factory back into production. Call on government to take a quick action. If we are doing that, then we need to put something back as an alternative so that the beverage sector can really welcome.
So that's the General Secretary of the Ghana Food and Beverages Association and Agri, Mr. Agri, who has also, proffered some suggestions as regards the plans to ban styrofoam products in the country. This is 12 Live here on Class 91.3 FM. Let's bring you some other stories now, Elizabeth.
The chairman of the Volta Regional Lands Commission has highlighted major challenges confronting lands administration in the region, including land encroachment, unpaid compensation claims, and inadequate logistical support. According to him, many state-owned lands across the Volta region remain undocumented, undemarcated, making them highly the encroachment illegal. And he also noted that the lack of clear defined boundaries has made it increasingly difficult for authorities to protect public lands and prevent unauthorized development. He has been speaking on this issue. Let's listen to him.
Particular issue we are currently dealing with, which has to do with the lands of the Ghana Army. We have a rifle range land in Ho here. There are a few issues about the executive instrument that was published, and as a result, a lot of people are encroaching on the land. The landowners have taken the Ghana Armed Forces and then Attorney General to court, excluding Lands Commission. And as a result, an injunction has been placed on the Ghana Armed Forces not to interfere with the land. I am sure that if we have some of these protection units in the region, the lands, it belongs to the state. It is the mandate of the Lands Commission to take care of some of these things. So we can help to protect some of the state lands in the region. Finally, I want to plead with the ministry to support the Lands Commission nationally to improve upon the compensation package for our staff. The salary ranges of our members is woefully inadequate. I believe that is one of the reasons why we face a lot of challenges when it comes to documentation. Certainly, people must put body and soul together. If the salaries are not enough, it will create opportunity for us to do some of the things we are doing. And therefore, I want to plead. I want to plead that something is done to increase the remuneration of our men.
That's the chairman of the Volta Regional Lands Commission.
Let's do some sports-related stories now, because Ghana's Black Stars have kicked off their 2026 FIFA World Cup campaign on a winning note after a dramatic stoppage time goal secured a hard-fought. The Stars, I should say, secured a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Panama in Toronto, Canada. Now, the thrilling result sparked jubilant celebrations in the Black Stars dressing room and among football fans across Ghana, with many praising the team's determination, resilience, and fighting spirit. Midfielder Caleb Urenchi emerged as the hero of the night, scoring the decisive goal in the 95th minute to break Panama's resistance and hand Ghana all 3 points in their opening Group L encounter. The dramatic late winner underscored the Black Stars' refusal to settle for a draw and rewarded their persistence throughout a closely contested match. There is more in the following news desk report.
But it is gathered by Ghana. Semenyo got support on his outside here. Asante, he's got away from his man. He's into the area. Thomas Asante has a great layup. And what a finish that is from Urenchi. What a moment for the Black Stars.
A 95th goal from Caleb Urenchi rescued Ghana from a frustrating night against Panama, handing the Black Stars a dramatic 1-0 victory in their opening Group L match at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The late strike at Toronto's BMO field secured all 3 points for Ghana and moved the Black Stars level with England, who defeated Croatia 4-2 in the group's other fixture. It was far from a convincing performance for Carlos Queiroz' side. Ghana struggled to find their rhythm in the opening half as Panama dominated possession, controlled the midfield, and created a better chances. The Black Stars also suffered an early setback when goalkeeper Lawrence Atizigi required treatment twice before being replaced at the halftime by Benjamin Asari. With Ghana managing little going forward before the break, Queiroz turned to his bench in the second half, introducing Antonio Semenyo, Brandon Thomas Asante, and Abdul Fattah. The changes transformed on Ghana's attack, while substitute goalkeeper Benjamin Asari made a string of important saves to keep the game level. Jordan Ayew came close to giving Ghana the lead after being set up by Thomas Asante, but his effort was cleared off the goal line. Then, with the match heading for a draw, Ghana found a breakthrough deep into stoppage time. Semenyo started a swift counter-attack before releasing Thomas Asante on the left. His low cross into the 6-yard box found Thomas Uenchi, who bundled home from close range to score his first senior international goal and spark world celebrations among the players and supporters inside the stadium. The final whistle confirmed the priceless 1-0 victory, and scenes of jubilation followed immediately. Inside the dressing room, the Black Stars celebrated with singing, dancing and traditional jama, with Antonio Semenyo leading the celebrations after Ghana's dramatic opening win. Reacting to the match-winning goal, Caleb Uenchi described the moment as a dream come true, saying scoring his first senior international goal at the World Cup is something he would never forget. He thanked the teammates, the coaching staff and Ghanaians for their unwavering support, dedicating the victory to the nation.
See where the boys, I think, if the boys ahead of you, we all want to catch up with the ball. So I think it's the ball.
Well, so that was a report put together by my colleague Portia Bokwi there with regards to the Black Stars' performance yesterday. We'll bring you the full report on 505 later today. But Electroland Ghana Limited is giving you weekly and monthly big rewards when you buy Samsung, TCL, Media and NASCO electronics anywhere in Ghana and from any authorized dealer or reseller. Just buy your LED smart TVs, split AC double door fridges, auto grill, gas cookers, washing machines, sound towers, microwaves, blenders, mobile phones and more from Samsung, TCL, Media and NASCO, and dial star 928 hash. That's star 928 star 8888 hash, or go to register.electrolandraffles.com to enter our weekly and monthly draws approved by NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Electroland Ghana Limited, rewarding your patronage the big way. T's and C's apply.
Now, are you ready to review your fortune? Review Scratch for Win is here to change your life for good. Just dial star 850 star 5 hash and win up to 1 million Ghana cedis or more in cash prizes instantly. It's easy, it's exciting, and it's regulated by the National Lottery Authority. Simply dial star 850 star 5 hash to play on all networks. Select your station to play the game. Select your stake amount from 5 cedis to 2,000 Ghana cedis. Choose your lucky card out of the 5 option. Choose and confirm game and enter your Momo pin. Receive your game results and winnings instantly. It's easy, fun and exciting. Get ready to win and live your best life with Review Scratch for Win. Up to 1 million Ghana cedis up for grab. Review Scratch for Win. Scratch keke. Nadisika Seibam.
And that's how we wrap up today's edition of 12 Live, which came your way from our studios here at Third Daddy Walk Street, North Laboni, Accra. My name is Charles Akrofi, and I did this with
Elizabeth Aidoo.
Remember to always visit Class FM online for some more stories and make a date with Kwame Otri Jr. and the team on 505 at exactly 5 p.m. today. Up next is the afternoon business review with the business team, Nana Uye Ankra and Nana